This is Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa. Hello viewers, I'm Barka Sisa and this is the Pulse of Africa. Our top stories for today. Israel and Ethiopia agree to cooperate on energy and water. With ceasefire, UN reporters sign of calm in Democratic Republic of Congo. Uganda starts clinical trial to combat Sudan strain of Ebola. Trump says US will take over and own Gaza in redevelopment plan. Ethiopia and Israel sign an agreement to advance cooperation in water and energy development domains. Energy and Infrastructure Minister Eli Kohun signed an agreement with Ethiopian Energy and Water Minister Abtamu Itafa to cooperate in the fields of energy, water and innovation. The goal of the agreement is to strengthen the relationship between two countries and integrate Israeli companies into infrastructure development projects in Ethiopia. Despite Ethiopia's abundance of water sources, it currently taps into only a fraction of them. With the help of Israeli technology, the country aims to enhance its water infrastructure significantly. Ethiopia is one of the key countries in Africa and one of the largest economies on the continent. With the help to Israel technology and innovation, we are working to strengthen Israel's diplomatic position in Africa and strengthen the economy of both countries, Kohn said. Now to DR Congo. The UN Humanitarian Office said life is slowly returning to normal in parts of the Democratic Republic of Congo after a unilateral ceasefire declared by M23 rebels. But critical humanitarian access remains blocked and the airport remains closed. During a UN briefing in Geneva, Jens Lerck, spokesperson for the UN Office for Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, OCHA, declared a noticeable increase in calmness. He indicated that a gradual return to normalcy with the reopening of shops and sign of life resuming. He underlined, however, that there are other issues such as non-functional banking and no aid flows through the airport. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa spoke to Elon Musk about spreading misinformation and distortion about the country. On Monday, the billionaire, who was born and brought up there, accused South Africa of having openly racist ownership laws, prejudicing white people. President Ramaphosa reminded Musk of the country's respect for the rule of law, justice, fairness and equality, which are enshrined in its constitution. Musk, who is a close ally of Donald Trump, made his comments on social media platform X after US President said he would suspend aid to South Africa. Uganda starts clinical trial to combat Ebola. Uganda has kicked off a clinical trial of vaccine against Ebola that killed one person in the outbreak declared last week. Health workers and other people exposed to the strain are being targeted in the trial, which began 4 days after Uganda announced the death of a nurse in the capital, Kampala. 2 more cases were confirmed on Monday in relatives of the first victim. It is the 6th time Uganda has been hit by an outbreak of Sudan strain of the virus, for which there is no approved vaccine. Of the 5 other Ebola species, just one has licensed vaccines. The vaccination trial was initiated with record speed, the World Health Organization chief Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said on it.
Ethiopia is my blood, your story and our identity, ornamented by centuries of sacrifice. The story of resurgent Ethiopia and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel, all the time. Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.
Now to global news. Saudi Arabia inks deal with Germany to export green hydrogen to Europe. Saudi Arabia will export 200,000 tons of green hydrogen to Europe annually by 2013 under a memorandum of understanding signed with Germany. German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier is currently visiting Saudi Arabia as part of regional tour that also includes Jordan and Turkey. In a statement, the Saudi Energy Ministry said the agreement was signed between the Saudi Aswa Power and German Safe Energy Company on Monday evening. Under the MOU, the partners will establish a hydrogen bridge between Saudi Arabia and Germany with an initial target of supplying 200,000 tons of green hydrogen annually by 2013. The MOU with SAFE marks a significant milestone in accelerating the green hydrogen economy in Europe, as POA CEO Marco Arsile said. Finally, to Gaza. United States President Donald Trump said U.S. will take over and own Gaza after resettling Palestinians elsewhere under an extraordinary redevelopment plan that he claimed could turn the enclave into the river of Middle East. In a shock announcement appending decades of U.S. policy towards the Israel-Palestinian conflict, Trump said that his administration would spearhead development in the enclave to supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area. The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip and we will do a job with it too. We will own it, Trump said at the White House after talks with Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. He added that his administration will take responsibility for clearing destroyed buildings and dismantling dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons. Hamas, the Palestinian group that governs Gaza, swiftly condemned the proposal as a recipe for creating chaos and tension in the region. That's all for today, and Buzayu is ready with the latest business news.
Hello viewers, I'm Buzayu Bogala with the latest business news. First, the headlines. African Continental Free Trade Area to launch transit scheme on Abidjan-Lagos corridor. China complains to WTO against US over additional tariffs. The African Continental Free Trade Area will this year launch a transit scheme for trucks moving along the Abidjan-Lagos corridor to deposit a grantee bond to enable them to cross over other countries. The initiative, according to the Secretary General of the African Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat, Wamkele Meni, is to reduce costs to the private sector. He said even when the trucks moved from the ECOWAS region to another region, they would be subject to only one cost for transit grantee. Mene announced this last Saturday in an address on the final day of the African Prosperity Dialogues 2025. Now to China's complaints to WTO against US over additional tariffs. China has complained to the World Trade Organization against the U.S. decision to impose an additional 10% tariff on Chinese goods, the Ministry of Commerce announced. The move comes in response to the U.S. announcement on Saturday, which Beijing claims violates World Trade Organization rules and represents unilateralism and trade protectionism. A spokesperson for the ministry said the U.S. tariffs undermine the rules-based multilateral trading system, harm China-U.S. economic cooperation, and disrupt global supply chains. China urged the U.S. to correct its actions immediately, emphasizing its commitment to defending its legitimate rights and interests. That's all the news for today, and thank you for joining the Pulse of Africa. Let me take you to the latest global commodity price news.
That's all from us today. Don't forget to check our website for updates on this and other stories. We thank you for joining us.
This is Pulse of Africa, The face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.